that Toka went off and had them do a high quality 3D print of Jinosuke's for all the girls to stand around and examine and praise. I don't know what's worse, the fact that he got jumped by Ikuko or the fact that they 3D printed his so they could sit there and scrutinize it. This deserves to be in a museum. They would pay billions for this. It's got the golden ratio. Oh man, episode 7 of Nukitashi. Definitely a lot of manipulation happening in this episode, and I really kind of wonder how much of this is true. I mean, we had Toka before mention the fact that if they don't do what the show wants, they will lose their home. If they don't keep in privy with them, eventually they're going to cut their funding and they're going to be out of home. And this episode show that, yes, everybody sort of has some sort of bad thing about them. They're all orphans or they have problems at home. I kind of got a sense of that with Rei. And it's kind of cool to see the confirmation there that Rei has a brother and sister that she's taking care of. That's why Hinami was able to sort of, she wasn't manipulating her, but the fact that, yes, Jinosuke brought up his sister, that kind of resonated with Rei. Like, oh, you're looking after your sister too. You're doing a good job. But it feels like there's a part of this that's Toka doing a little bit of manipulation with him as well. Again, this is a girl that knows hypnotism and whatnot. She likes to do magic tricks. She's obviously manipulating Jinosuke in some way. I think there is sort of the truth there that all these individuals have some sort of problems at home or debt or whatever they're dealing with that this is able to help with. But I think that she's also kind of whispering his ear as well, like kind of give him little sweet little nothings just to kind of pull him more and more over there. Again, we've already established she knows that Jinosuke is the one with this. She knows. So it's trying to kind of go further than that to kind of manipulate him in more ways. But very interesting that she's kind of pulling him in there and doing all this with him. So yeah, I'm kind of curious where it'll go from here. He obviously has blown the entire operation. I thought for a minute that he was actually going to send them to where they're at. I think that might have been where they're at, but that's why he said, to retreat. But I think there's going to be this element where he's going to realize, I need to help both. He's going to be conflicted, but it's probably going to be one of those aspects of trying to help both. Give both what they need, help the FS while also helping out the anti-compilation front. Taking it down in a different way. What does that involve with Fumino not letting Fumino get out of there? That's the question mark. Why does he need to have Fumino stay there? Unless he's planning on giving Fumino over. It would be an interesting twist to actually have Jinosuke go full FS. I know they're not going to do that. He's probably going to ride the gray area, but it would be so cool to have Jinosuke actually turn on the anti-compilation front and go full FS. And then at some point, they have to snap him out of it. Nanase and Asane have to go anti-compilation, disguise themselves and take down Jinosuke. We'll see though. But yes, let's get into the episode proper. Opening up with, Jinosuke doing his final test. He seems to have failed it, but they still let him join. Again, Rei's looking out for him. But yeah, Toka knows who he is. No matter what, he was going to pass. They want to pull him into the group and manipulate him. We see that. But yeah, I love the fact that he goes back home and he's with all the anti-compilation front and he's got the dress on. Looks stupid, I'm sorry. Got the little overcoat and this little tight shirt underneath it. He looks so dumb. But again, this is where it's that sign there. He's super happy. He's excited that he's a part of it. He's like, yes, I got my new shirt. Oh, I got to become a member. Even though they've seen my values and all that kind of stuff. And even later on when they had that little FS meeting, he's got that little, he's all emotional and everything. He's actually getting into it. I wonder if it's right there already has that element of manipulation happening to him. He's getting into it. And they all called out. They're like, yeah, he's a traitor. Totally a traitor. Yeah, definitely going to be turncoating on them. But yeah, in this little scene here, we do get the introduction of the coming of age ceremony. Where they have pretty much all the people that come of age, they all have that day. So they just have everybody come together and just have for that. They wear marked lewd crested hakama and hip sleeves. What is a hip sleeve? I'm guessing the sleeves themselves are cut so that you can easily, I don't know. And they have all night. But recently it's been getting more perverted these days. The ability to sire children has declined. I mean, they're taking pills to prevent pregnancy. It's like this whole thing is about perverted law and everybody having, but nobody's having children. Again, that goes back to the whole idea. This is not about low population. They're just But yeah, apparently they'll be out in force, so it's a perfect time to get Fumino out of there during the chaos. And then we cut over to the FS meeting, where, again, Jinosuke is getting all emotional. Shu's getting all emotional. They talk about the fact their current plan is to take down the anti-compilation front, or actually capture them. So they bring out the 3D printed Jinosuke. They threw it out. Again, I love the fact they're all standing around it. He's like, oh my gosh, they have the technology to reproduce that has been in a... Yeah. But yeah, they all stand around it and start like touching it and stuff. It's making the woman inside mommy all it's a masterpiece for a National Museum of Art. It'll sell for billions at a auction. And Okoko's over there like, yeah, and the real thing is even more amazing. Once it robs you of consciousness, it's a magical. It's a magical. But yes, that's when Toka speaks up and says, yes, it's a magical. With it, even changing the world wouldn't be just a dream. I'm still curious what kind of bull thing they bring up of that the fact that a is going to be able to help them spread lewdness across the world. Like if they have Genosuke's what? Like they're gonna send him after political leaders to get the perverted law spread more? Like they're gonna just take him to the national diet and just have him all the politicians? Or like the strength of the itself will sway all minds. I don't know. It's stupid. It's a dumb show. But yeah, she looks directly at Genosuke. Again, she already knows it's him. Again, they've seen the whole little like diagram scanning thing of the footage and goes, oh, that's him. But here's where the whole kind of flip happens is they're talking about the idea they're going to wait until after the coming of age ceremony before they capture the anti-compilation front and the massive. And Genosuke thinks for a brief moment they can't wait until after the ceremony over for Fumino. Like, for a brief moment, he's thinking about, wait, if you guys wait until after the ceremony, Fumino will get out. Wait, that's a good thing. Wait, what am I thinking? like for a brief moment, he's thinking, wait, we can't capture the anti-compilation front and Fumino if we wait. Again, I'm thinking right here, Toka's already brainwashing him. Yeah, there's a side of it that he just likes being with the group, which is sort of the same feeling that he got with the anti-compilation front. I'm no longer alone. I'm not this guy that's just stuck in his room all the time and only have my sister. I have a group now that is supporting me. I'm no longer like isolated like I was when I was younger. He could have that feeling with FS as well, that camaraderie that he's liking, but I think it's actually brainwashing. But yeah, he's assigned to be assistant to Toka. If he didn't want to, he could assign him with the other chick who's crazy and keeps kicking around. But yes, he decides it's a brilliant time to be able to find out the weaknesses of Toka, to which he does his job really well. Gets a phone call. They want to spread the lewdness to the main island. And then she brings up the goal of SS, is to spread the directive of show. And again, this goes back to my original theory that I have around Toka, is that she's like, yeah, that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's not the only reason. She reiterates here that it's an efficient way to communicate. That yes, looking at somebody in the face, you're able to see them, you recognize them. Shake a hand, you get consciousness of them. Knowing is through talking, but understanding is by... Again, I think this girl wants to make a cult. I'm convinced of it. But yeah, they go out for a walk for a little bit, talk about the different events that the FS throws for the island itself, including Lewd Day. A day for resting and receiving instead. Notices that he's tired, says, oh, you want to go somewhere else? You have a spunk drunk. Newcomers to the island sometimes get spunk drunk, so being around lots of people apparently produces something. They have a clinical term for it. But yes, they go to the dock, and that's where she mentions the fact that she loves the island, that through we have a deeper relationship than mainlanders, understand and respect each other more. And yeah, just more of her sitting here brainwashing him. I think right here, she's really trying to pull him over to their side. And I think it's through the fact that she's noticing he doesn't like this island. He doesn't like being here. He's looking disgusted as he sees people having sex over there. He's not liking what everybody else on this island likes. And so knowing that he's part of the anti-compilation front, she's trying to bag this guy. I really do feel like she's trying to win him over. Even probably right here, trying to get him to confess what's going on with the anti-compilation front. What's their current plans? We get a little brief scene of Hinami coming home to the anti-compilation front and them kind of questioning her about Rei. And the idea that, yes, we're going up against Rei, your childhood friend. And she's already noted the fact that, yeah, I think that she's only really doing it for her family. Not that she's totally set in it. She's even giving me shoujo manga, which, yes, in a lot of those cases, is going to be like more romantic, not necessarily just for the... So she sees that Rei probably reading a lot of this stuff. Maybe her sister reads a lot of it. Well, we find out that she actually watches a lot of Sentai. Not just shoujo, a lot of Sentai that they can kind of have fun with. I like the fact that they're pointing out... I like the fact that she points out that she's in a... or something like that. She's weak to... Anybody that's weak to... can't be bad. Then we have a scene with Jinosuke going over to the dorm. They're preparing for the big welcoming party. Again, get to see a little bit more of Rei. I think Rei's like my favorite of the show. I really like Rei. She's a big sis. I knew there was a reason I liked Rei is because she's the big sis. And they give an indication there with Rei sort of looking after Hinami. She's looking after other people that need help. So she's got that big sis type in her with Hinami, so it makes sense. But yeah, looking after her sister and brother. And then we have the welcoming party, where again, I think this is Toka totally cementing it. Bring them in there, have everybody have fun, show they're all like normal people, and talk about how every one of them is struggling in some way. They're all orphans, they're all having problems at home, they're dealing with debt, and without the show, they would be lost. They can't live anywhere else but this island. It's totally playing that out. The party was wild though. Guy over there trying to get without using his hands. Ikuko's talking about how she some twins and they're a different way. What? What kind of party talk is this? Yeah, I some twins one time and they were just curved in different directions. Symmetry. Mommy ladies trying to offer people her. Yeah, they're totally normal. Yeah. Toki, you should have had him dial it back a little bit. They're totally normal people that just want to take care of their families. Yeah, that all seemed to affect Jinosuke. He goes home, and Nanase notices it. In fact, I need a minute. They're all like, we have the plan ready. You ready to go? Hold on, I need a minute. Walks away. They're like, does he need to go to... But no, Nanase comes over there and notes that he has a problem. Nanase is trying to offer to take over. And I thought that was kind of the big oddity from the very beginning was the fact that Jinosuke went and not Nanase, because you would think that they would accept Nanase in much quicker. But yeah, it would put Nanase in danger. But she's noticing that he's kind of getting stuck up into the FS. And yeah, of course, Nanase is going to have a lot more knowledge about the FS and what they're doing. I think that she probably knows that they all have family they're taking care of, probably knows they're being funded by the show to take care of their families. And so she's seeing that being behind enemy lines is messing with him. And she's offering to kind of take over for him. But he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to admit that he's getting swept up in it. So he's going to stick with his guns. FS is our enemy, sure. So they have the coming of age ceremony. They have like some random news report and they're asking some random dude, what are you going to do on your first day here? And he's like, oh, in respect to my family, I'm going to get by a girl with a on. What? What a good son. Gonna bring great honor to their family. I'm like, what the is going on here? But yeah, as they get their assignments, Rei hands over her old gun to Jinosuke just to make it more harder for him to turn on them. And then according to plan, he gives a false call to the FS. Rei thanks him, says good job, and it causes him to break. He can't do it. He can't rob them of their only home, and he calls off the operation. Again, I think it's going to turn to a thing where he's probably just going to try to figure out how to help both the FS. It could probably just turn into a thing where he just doesn't want to have the FS have a massive failure and then lose their homes. In the end, he's going to want to end the perverted law, but the question mark is, how do you do that with still having the FS still exist? The moment you destroy the law, the FS is going to be out of their job. So you got to make that decision here soon. Like there's no getting around it. They're going to lose their job, or you're going to have to keep the perverted law around. What's the call here? But at least in the end, this episode sort of opened the door to possibly having certain characters that I really like Rei join the anti-copulation front. Maybe he gets with the supporter guy and tries to find a way to help the FS members while breaking the law itself. I don't know. Either way, he's going to get a lot of heat from the team for this. He's been compromised. And again, it could turn into something interesting to have, say again, Jinosuke literally turn into a double agent. That he was spying on the FS the whole time, but then he becomes an FS member and then turns on the anti-copulation front through the brainwashing that Toka's doing. We'll see. He's playing right into Toka's plan. Anyways, good episode overall. Enjoyed it. Looking forward to more. But that's my thoughts on episode 7 of Nukitashi. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content and you want to support channel more, become a member of the channel. Until next time, y'all take care.